That's right. I'm going to go ahead and call this last meeting of 2022 to order for December 19th, and we are meeting both in hybrid and remotely via Teams. And our first item on the agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance. Ben, do you mind leading us this evening? Thank you very much, Ben. We do not have any public hearings advertised for this evening, so we will move to communications from the public. Needless to say, anything to bring to the attention of the council, now is your opportunity, and name and address for the record, please. Any public comment this evening? Not seeing any. Michelle, anyone online?
Dave and Jen, for those of you that are online, would you like to address the council for any reason tonight? Please unmute your mic. We're good.
Thank you, Michelle. We'll move on to volunteer board reports. Any volunteer board reports from the audience? Ben.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. Ben Johnson, Whitefish Housing Authority. Just wanted to give you all a quick update when I was passing through the neighborhood on a Monday evening. We're currently in the middle of interviewing candidates for the vacant Whitefish Housing Authority director position, and hopefully we will have an offer extended to an interim executive director by early January.
Great. Good news, Ben. Thanks. Further volunteer board reports? Michelle, anyone online? How about the council this evening? Not seeing any. As I mentioned, we do not have any public hearings advertised, so we'll move on to item 7, communications from our city manager. You have Dana's report enclosed with the packet. Any questions for Dana? Excuse me, consent agenda. I skipped right over that. You have the consent agenda enclosed in the packet. You have the regular as well as the special meeting minutes enclosed.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second to the motion? Second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed, like sign. Thank you, Ben, for backing me up there. We'll move on to item 7, communications from our city manager. Again, you have Dana's report enclosed with the packet. Any questions for Dana? Dana, anything additional to report on?
Yeah, I'll give you just 2 items. One is I have been meeting with our lobbyist, Turner Strategies, and we have a great plan in place for communicating over the next legislative session. She has already started meeting with the local, I think it's called the Local Solutions Coalition, which is headed by the Montana League of Cities and Towns. She's working well with Bozeman and Missoula's lobbyists as well, and getting ready to reach out to Senator Geer and Representative Fern. So we are headed in the right way. The other update I have is for the retreat, and so I just want to make sure that we can decide a date hopefully this evening. I've reached out to the lodge at Whitefish Lake to hold the retreat in their Viking room, which can accommodate up to 50 individuals. The direction was to look for a Saturday to make sure that it was a good date for everyone to be able to attend for a full day. Basically, every day in January and February, 4th and 25th are available. So we have the 7th, which I believe would be too soon. So I'd recommend looking at either January 21st, 24th, February 4th, or February 25th as your options. We can provide, through them, we will have food and beverage services as well.
Dana, the two dates in January again was the 21st and,
The 20, I don't have the 24th, that doesn't make sense.
that doesn't make sense, yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, so I would say you're looking at the 21st, unless she meant the 28th. I'll have to clarify with her, but the 28th, February 4th, and then February 25th. So just to make sure, if we could do the 21st or February 4th or February 25th, I think would be ideal.
Let's start with January 21st. How does that work for everyone?
Is this, yes? I'm the lone man out on that.
Then we'll need to seek another date. I'm gone the first meeting in February, at least that weekend. Would the 25th work for everyone, February?
25th?
Yes. Kind of pushing it off a little ways, but
I could do it. Can we do 2 weekends in a row to get next year's in as well?
does that work for you, Steve? Andy?
I'm pretty sure it should, yeah.
I understand things come up, so that may change once again. Rebecca, does that work for you? Dana, is that pushing it off too far in your opinion?
I don't think, I mean, I think what it'll do is just push the State of the City to March.
Yeah, which I think is fine.
But I think that's fine as well, so the 25th works for me.
Okay, let's lock that down then. Yep.
I won't put on the mic. We are not clashing like any of the carnival stuff.
Microphone,
Carnival's a 4.
please.
Just making sure we're not clashing with any of the community activities like carnival.
Carnival's
whatever.
4th.
And then we're done with the carnival? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that in your response,
Yeah,
that there was,
I'm not seeing it.
the
in
Merry
my-
Maker was
Yeah.
one of those Saturdays, so looks like we'll avoid all of those activities. Anything else, Dana?
Nothing more?
Okay. We'll move on to communications from the council. Why don't we start with Rebecca this evening?
Don't have anything to really say except happy holidays, everybody, and thank you to the staff for working so hard to keep our community safe and festive. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Rebecca. Andy, if you're ready.
Thanks to everyone for a great year, or another year anyway, maybe. Some are better than others, I guess. But anyway, it's always a pleasure to work with everyone, from all of you up here to all of our staff. Obviously, it's a great thing, and I wish everyone a really happy holiday. This is the only thing, just on a cautionary note, and this is probably for Bridger too, and I hope this gets picked up in the paper. There's ice starting to form on the lake, and it's really not very good, and the river's iced over right now, and it's not really very good. And there's a lot of people that have moved here with kids in the last couple of years that don't know really anything about ice because they have Texas license plates, and no offense to anyone from Texas, but they don't have ice there, so. But the point being is, I hope everyone's really careful out there, because it's, kids and ice are a bad combination, as we saw in England here last week, and it's scary out there, and invariably somebody falls through, and it's not a good thing. Even people like Steve Thompson, who knows about ice, falls through, so there you go. So, anyway, be careful out there.
Thanks, Andy. Steve?
I just have my bi-weekly address to those who use the cross-country ski trails. Please stay in your lane. And dogs and walkers are not allowed at the golf course. I was talking to a good friend of mine who was walking his dog on the trails at the golf course. He just didn't know. So anyway, stay in your lane. Pay attention to the signs about animals if you're up on the big mountain trails. And then thank you to all these staff for another good year. And thank you to all of you. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Steve. Ben?
No, it's been a good year. I've appreciated serving with all of you this year. Hope everybody has a great holiday, and everybody stays warm this week. It looks like it's going to be a doozy. So,
Sure is. Giuseppe?
I want to thank my mayor and this council for a good year. It was my freshman year. It's still until the 2nd of January, and I learned a lot, and I hope to keep learning. I want to thank the staff, from the city manager and the city attorney down the chain of command. Thank you for working with me, for being patient. Michelle especially, she gets a lot of my phone calls. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, Giuseppe. And Frank?
I can only echo my thanks to being able to serve with all staff and all you've here on council. It has once again been a pleasure. I wouldn't trade it for anything, actually. So it's been great, and I hope everyone has a wonderful and merry holiday season, and we'll see you next year.
You wouldn't trade it for a week in Mexico right now?
Actually, no. Actually, no.
Well, I echo all the sentiments that were mentioned by my fellow city councilors. It's been a great year and a good run up here, and very much appreciate everything that you do. I think we've governed well this year. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and I want to thank staff in particular. And Craig, I think the plow crew is doing an amazing job, and I'm hearing that in town, so please extend our thanks to the plow crew, because I know they're working some long, challenging hours right now, and it's certainly not unnoticed. And Jake Cook, the man behind the scene. Thanks, Jake, for everything you do. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone. I look forward to working with you in 2023. And on that note, we are adjourned. Thanks. It is. I think it might be.